No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is here every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh. Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within the Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is here every Monday to Friday at 10.
A pleasant good morning. Welcome to our TV. Welcome to the edition of Inside the We are here on Focal Online TV. Today is October 6th. It's Friday. Just so you know, we'd like to welcome all of our viewers who are watching us from the diaspora and out of Liberia. We say a pleasant good morning, good afternoon to you. This is where we bring you information to our country on the of media. Yeah. This morning I have your presenter, and my name is Greg Courage. Yeah, this morning my co-presenter, his name is
K. Lyndon Toba.
Yeah, he has a special opinion on all of the happenings within our country and that of the world. So Kelly, let's talk about with you this morning.
Well, yesterday was another day in District 18 particularly, where there were lots of people who gathered to witness the dedication ceremony of the Judy Bryant Bridge. It was a quite an interesting moment yesterday, specifically in New Georgia community. And that bridge connected the New Georgia exit route to that of the Dapper community. So it was such a kind of wonderful event.
Okay, so that was so nice. But then at the end of that whole ceremony, it came about a huge violence.
Yes, I was really shocked. I was really shocked because I was standing right beside the independent lawmaker. But after we concluded the activity, I saw a very huge presence of police officer, and a lot of people were saying it wasn't, hard people saying that it wasn't an easy thing here due to the cause of violence. This is something that we have said time. Remember that we strongly condemn the issue of violence. we witnessed the 2018 violence that took place in Kishim involving supporters of New York and that of the ruling coalition democratic change. It was very deteriorating and very damaging for our country, Liberia.
But I mean, it was bad yesterday because I mean I was caught up between the line coming back to town, going home. Then I saw all of the girls they just pulled up with the crowd. And then I saw those guys turning around, coming back towards me. And I was like, what is going on? So I had to they think I was small. So I had to get it. Yeah, so the Rio Club around Sinatra, you know, where I
You
stayed
you
for
flew for safety.
yeah, until the issue went down, and I took the road back to King. But it was, I mean, I saw Chico, Solomon Chico car, his car got damaged,
Yeah.
and it was so bad.
I was even hearing there were a lot of people who were complaining. This is something that some of us will get on the field to like to be able to clearly investigate what led to the violence yesterday. So there were a lot of people who were complaining that their markets, their news were being vandalized by thugs and other people.
Yes, I mean the place was bad. You had people who strategize people and a lot of things went on yesterday that was so bad that could take a life of someone. The aspect of violence. Violence is something that is not good. But then we experienced it yesterday in the street. See, and it's something that we should frown is not the institution about. Knowing that we have a member here who is doing for another 6 years. And it's something that we should around for peace, not to manipulate the minds of people to go against peace, but rather to put people together and I mean continue to stay around peace. But however, let's not go to it yet. Let's do our news reading here for today, folks. Let's look at our heroes and headlines. Maryland for President Biya's re-election. Maryland support for President Biya's re-election. That is the first headline under the newspaper. And then we have another one. Washington National Election Commission. Washington Flies National Election Commission. That is former Information Minister Lamini Warrington. And we move over to the newspaper where we have the first headline: Catholic lawyers urge Liberians to vote. Catholic lawyers urge Liberians to vote. That is the first headline is on the newspaper. Another one says CDC stop campaign salvation. CDC stop campaign finance salvation. Entitled to watch that time reveals. That is the Coalition for Democratic Change Stop Campaign Finance Salvation. So we'll hear from you, Kelly Lucifer, from the Front Page African newspaper headline and the Hot Pepper newspaper headline.
All right, thank you. Sipa. Front page Africa, the headlines. Don't vote war laws and corrupt persons. Anti-corruption activists calls on Liberia ahead of October elections. So we move over to another headline on the Front Page African newspaper. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf called for civic responsibility ahead of historic elections. So we flip over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. The Hot Pepper newspaper. NEC shows of credible October 10, 2023 general and presidential elections. NEC shows credible October 10 general and presidential elections. So this brings us to the closure. Back over to you.
So, folks, this is how we will inform you about the happenings within our country, beginning from the General Assembly newspaper, the New Dawn newspaper, the Front Page Africa newspaper, and the newspaper. Moving forward, we have our international newspaper today. So let's take a short break. When we get back, I resume reading our news from the General Assembly newspaper after emphasizing on the headlines. Therefore, I'm encouraging you to kindly get yourself a newspaper, be informed of the happenings in our country like Liberia, especially after October. So we are encouraging all electorate first time We're encouraging politicians, we're encouraging mama and papa to get glued for a social media platform or social media TV, and it's called Focal Online TV, where we bring information, especially top stories from a direct source. That is a direct business agency between our country. So this morning, the many right, just please stay.
Hello there, my name is Kay Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible informations of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Lyndon Topa. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online?
Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Media here on Focal Online TV with your presenter, Greg Courage Pa, and your co-presenter.
Okay, Lyndon Tuba.
So this morning we're in our news reading from the News Star, the Daily Observer newspaper. But before then, let me emphasize on the news headlines. Maryland demonstrates support for President Ria election. Maryland demonstrates support for President Ria re-election. The news in detail. The citizens of Maryland County have wholeheartedly pledged their support to President George Weah in his bid for re-election. Speaking at a political rally in Cleveland, Chief Christian Williams, the acting head of Council of Chiefs of Maryland, expressed the county's unwavering support for President Weah in upcoming October elections. Chief Christian Williams highlighted President Weah's numerous accomplishments in Maryland County, including the construction of packages, provision of electricity, ongoing construction of the water system for people, and assistance with educational expenses such as wide fee and tuition waivers at Tubman University. He also acknowledged the benefit in traveling on the deferrable goods the challenges that are faced by the county inhabitants. Moreover, Williams expressed optimism that President Williams' re-election will bring about the beginning of rules, allowing citizens to travel on the exclusive, even by motorbike. He assured the president that Maryland County will join the ranks of counties that will contribute to a victorious re-election campaign. It's no secret that the president has always received huge support not only from Marylanders but the entire southeastern region since he began his political career in 2005. He won the county, the home of his rather excellent enemies, massively in both rounds of the 2017 presidential election. At the October 4 rally in Kimball, Felicia Townley, the president of Liberia, explained her gratitude to President for his numerous town projects in at the limited global meeting in Maryland County. Chambers informed the people of Maryland about the government's approval of funds for the establishment of a additional college in GP capital. He encouraged the citizens of Maryland to vote for President Weah and candidates from the Coalition for Democratic Change, that is CDC, in the upcoming elections, emphasizing that they have the country's best interests at heart. Expressing his gratitude for the overwhelming support, President Weah praised the people of Maryland for their efforts and mentioned his excitement and exercising the witness of the tremendous 2020 meeting. He thanked Marylanders for their consistent support and promised to continue serving as the president, working towards the betterment of Liberia in his second term. Additionally, President Weah assured the people that road infrastructure in the southeast region, including Maryland, was a priority in place for completion within the next 6 years. The strong show of support from Maryland County reveals the strong backing that President Weah enjoys as he pursues re-election, with citizens acknowledging his achievement and pledging to continue the momentum of progress under his leadership. This is how we move over to another headline in missing details under the Daily newspaper. Warrington replies National Elections Commission. Warrington replies National Elections Commission. Former Information Minister Lamini Warrington has described as unnecessarily alarmist and hysterical the press statement issued by the National Election Commission (NEC) and published by Frontage Africa falsely and maliciously accusing him of wanting to undermine the electoral process and expose the commission to disrupt an indentured member of its staff while at the same time threatening the peace. Prof. Warrington labeled as the Delta Brown-led commission press statement as an overexcited and knee-jerk reaction and an exercise in willful misrepresentation and scapegoating, all designed to cover the inadequate state of a commission laboring on a cloud of suspicion in regard to its impartiality. He pointed out that if the commission had applied some level of English language comprehension to what he referred to as his being on the lead of the commission to do the right thing, but clearly and transparently conducting the October elections, the board would have possibly thought twice before embarking on what he describes as a campaign of calumny against him, the sole purpose of presenting him in a bad. Mr. Ward explained that his preference about ranking was conditional and not categorical or definitive. He further that all what I was able to put across to the NEC and its technical staff is that with all years of breaking and with participants open the process of breaking the elections and such conditions to break or manipulate the penny election will only be possible if NEC acquiesces to it, as it is the only body which has the means to do so if it is so wishes. I never suggested for a moment that NEC will break the election. This is how we turn over to Lyndon Tokwa, who will fill us in directly from the Front Page Africa newspaper.
Thank you, Griffin Asipa. Thank you to Liberian for always listening to our news reading. Front Page Africa, Liberia. Don't vote warlords and corrupt persons, anti-corruption activists calls Liberians ahead of October 10th elections. The executive director of the Global Action for Sustainable Development, James Will, who is also the national coordinator of Liberia's CSO Anti-Corruption Coalition, has made the latest call for citizens to reject at the polls all those who perpetrated violent crimes and havoc on the Liberian people during the 14 years of civil war, the economic crimes during the civil unrest, and continues to do because of their proximity to political power. According to Mr. Kuyu, since the end of the civil war in 2003, past and current governments has refused and neglected to implement the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliations Commission report by establishing a war and economic crime code for Liberia to ensure that those who committed war crimes and crimes against humanity can face justice, a situation that have made many of them to seek political offices to continue to remain in the corridor of political powers. The anti-corruption activists furthered that while schools of Liberians and different groups have demonstrated and protested across the Monrovia on different dates, the Liberian government have not taken any actions to seek justice for the approximately 250,000 people who were killed during the brutal civil war. Koyo also commended the U.S. government through the U.S. Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Affairs Assets under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Act, Accountability Act, EO 1318 for censuring 5 officials of the Liberian governments in 2020 and 2022, respectively. The designation by the U.S. Department of the Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control of Vani Sherman, Senator of Grand Cape County, Chairman of Liberian Senate Judicial Committee in 2020 was a significant accomplishment by the United States in helping to fight corruption in Liberia. Because the Sherman has been shielded by the Liberian legislature over the years. As we go to the polls on October 10, 2023, it is imperative that Liberians, especially citizens of Grand Cape County, vehemently reject him by voting him out as a sign of promoting accountability and justice, Kool-Aid noted. The GSA boss also stated on December 9, 2021, U.S. Department of the Treasury Office of Foreign Affairs Assets under the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, designated Prince Yomi Johnson is a former warlord and a current member of the Liberian Senate. He is the former chairman of the Senate Committee on National Security, Defense, Intelligence, and Veteran Affairs. In 1990, he was responsible for the murder of former Liberian President Samuel K. Doe, and Johnson is named in Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Report as having committed atrocity during the country's civil war. We can continue to have people like Senator Johnson within our governing structure as a country and expect the country to move forward. What is needed now for the Nimba County Senator is to have his day in court in another 9 years to keep serving on taxpayer money. Koyo further stressed that corruption in Liberia remains a major impediment to economic and social developments, and with the dismantling of Liberia anti-corruption commissions and weak structural implementations of anti-graft institutions, public officials continue to steal and enrich themselves and afterwards seek elected offices as a means of protecting their ill-gotten wealth. As the U.S. government continues to fight against corruption globally, on August 15, 2022, the U.S. Department of Treasury Office Foreign Affairs Assets designated Liberian government official Nathaniel Fallon McGill, Simon Serena Seaforth, and Bill Twawi for their involvement into ongoing public corruptions in Liberia. These officials were designated pursuant to Executive Order 13-1818, which builds upon and implement the Global Magnitsky Human Rights and Accountability Act and targets perpetrators of serious human rights abuse and corruptions around the world, Koyo noted. Koyo stated that 2 of the August 2023 sanctions former Liberian government officials, including Nathaniel McGill, Bill Twawi, are seeking elected offices in ensuing October 10 elections in Margibit and Riverside County, respectively. We are calling on citizens of those 2 counties to not elect those 2 persons who may have been designated for corruptions, Koyo concluded. Anti-corruption activists stated there are scores of Liberians who are seeking elections and re-elections to the legislature, and Liberia should reject them now. Some of them include Representative Yeke Kalubat, Representative George Bullitt, Roland Duo, Alex Taylor, Damanik Kamara, and others who are aware that are corrupt and participants of the civil wars in Liberia, Koyo noted. In closing, Lepin calls on the 2.4 million registered voters across the country to remain peaceful as we go to the poll in few days on October 10th. We should be cognizant that Liberia is our common denominator, and we should not support any form of electoral violence. We condemn in the strongest terms the recent electoral violence in Lo-Fi, particularly Foya district, stating that no one should die because of corrupt politicians. The executive director of Global Magnitsky Sustainable Development is also this is how we move over to another headlines on the front page African newspaper. Okay. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf calls for civic responsibility ahead of historic election. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, a towering figure in Liberian politics, and the first women to be elected as head of state in Africa, underscored the significance of October 10 elections and highlighted the critical role that peace has played in Liberia's progress. The former president emphasized that the country's potentials for development while acknowledged past achievements on the path to development. She also alluded to the challenges that have at times hindered this progress. Through its core, peace has always been an enabler, said Cecily, drawing up her wisdom encapsulated in the vowel language, which translates through it all. Peace was carry us forward. Salim expressed a profound gratitude to all citizens, individuals, and groups who have contributed to maintaining the national peace, which has now marked 2 decades of uninterrupted harmony in Liberia. This is how we conclude on the front page Africa. Back to you, Grafina, for the continuations of local news on this network.
So we resume with our news reading from the New Dawn newspaper, and I'll read the first headlines. Catholic lawyers urge Liberians to vote. Catholic lawyers urge Liberians to vote. The news in details. The Catholic Lawyers Association of Liberia urges Catholics across Liberia and the Liberian populace in general that are registered voters to turn out in their numbers on Tuesday, 10 October to vote. In a press release, the association underscores the participation in Tuesday's elections is not only a civic duty but also in adherence in respect for constitutional provisions as provided in Article 177 and 83 of the Constitution of Liberia 1986. The release signed by Councillor Dal Ambrose Nan, senior national coordinator, notes that regardless of how each individual citizen is regarding the performance of past and current leadership, boycotting or staying away from the forthcoming election does not help the situation in any way. It rather allows a handful of individuals to decide the destiny of the country, and regrettably, the entire country will have to live with their choice, whether good or bad, for the next 6 years for president and representatives and 9 years for senators. So it reads. This is how we position ourselves to another headline on the newspaper. CDC taps campaign finance foundation. CDC taps campaign finance foundation. The ruling coalition for democratic change, CDC, the list of political parties that are allegedly involved in violation of campaign finance regulations ahead of Tuesday, October 3, presidential and legislative elections, data released by Encyclopedia Watch Liberia reveals. Executive Director Hara Adu, in a news conference Wednesday at its data center at UN House in Monrovia, noted that the ruling coalition for democratic change tops a list of political parties that are engaged in constant violation of campaign financing regulations. Releasing the outcome of the second edition of its political parties campaign financing regulations monitoring exercise in all 15 counties in Liberia. Mr. Adu details that the second preliminary findings encompass three key areas, including findings on abuse of occupancy, findings on contribution and expenditure restrictions, and public disclosure in indicators. This is how we move over to the Hot Pepper newspaper, what I'll bring to you our news details.
All right, the Hot Pepper newspaper. October 10 general and presidential elections will be credible. National Elections Commission is saying. The National Elections Commission calls on Liberians and stakeholders to refrain from dangerous and unfounded stories that have the propensity to not only undermine the credibility of the electoral process, but also put employees of NEC in harm ways and even threaten the peace. The NEC assured the Liberian people and stakeholders of free, fair, inclusive, and credible elections, filling on the records from past elections. For October 10, 2023 elections, Liberians can rest assured that NEC will do so as well as the underscored. The NEC called on all Liberians registered to go to the poll on October 10th to vote, ensuring that their votes will count. As part of enhancing transparency of the voting, counting, and tallying process, the National Elections Commission urged all candidates, independent and those from political parties, to send their agents to the 5,890 polling places in the 280 precincts to take account of the pollings and counting of vote at those polling places. At the same time of the polling and counting, the NEC disclosed that agents of candidates and political party will sound the record of the count, attesting to the accuracy of the process. At the polling place, the agents of the two parties, candidates with the highest number of votes in the polling place will be given copies of the record of the count. Additionally, the announcement of winners begins at the polling place where the record of the count is posted on the wall in the polling places. In view of the candidates and parties, agents, and local, regional, and international observers, it must be noted that a copy of the result is put in an envelope known as T, which is sealed in the presence of all agents and observers. The T are later transferred to the election magistrate office where they are opened and tallied in full view of everyone. And all the results are sent electronically to NEC. NEC headquarters where the results are announced, first preliminary as they come, and then the final result are announced by the National Elections Commission, Madam Henrietta Bryan stated. The commission assured all Liberians, political parties, stakeholders, and political actors and observers that NEC is committed to ensuring that the necessary safeguards put in place to the conduct of the elections, to which the end of the commission will announce the outcome of the votes from October 10, 2023 presidential and legislative election is credible and transparent. With this being said, it brings us to the final conclusion of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Turn over to Grefina Pa for the continuations of news.
Thanks to you, folks. This is how we close down on our local news here within Liberia. Let's take this short water break. When we get back, we fill you in on our international news. Please don't forget today is Friday and it's weekend. Let us go with mind and peace. Let's love our brothers, sisters. So let's take this short break, folks. Please stay with me as I'll be right back with our international news.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Togba. My name is Grefina Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within the Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
What?
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, Join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country.
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Togba. My name is Greg Courage. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Here with your presenter, Kinan Kajwar, and your co-presenter,
K. Lyndon Togba.
So this morning we will be wrapping up on our international news. That is our last thing for this morning, daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We have closed on our local news. We brought our news review from the Daily newspaper, the Daily newspaper, the Front Page Africa, and Hot Pepper newspaper. Moving to our international news, our source for today is ABC News. So I'll the headlines and I'll in details as well. Fire sweep through a six-story residential building in Mumbai, killing 6 persons. Fire sweep through a six-story residential building in Mumbai, killing 6 persons. So we have our news details. A fire in a six-story residential building has left us at least 6 dead and another 38 injured in Mumbai, India, financial and entertainment capital. A fire swept through a six-story residential building Friday, leaving at least 6 dead and another 38 injured in Mumbai, India, financial and entertainment capital of fire officials said. 8 fire engines took 3 hours to extinguish the fire and quench the fire in the Georgian West District. Fire officials and fire officers, as Scott Tarapat said, the rescue work is over and the injured have been taken to 2 hospitals, he added. Media reports said the fire started in some shops on the ground floor and the smoke engulfed some floors. The cause of the fire is being investigated. The building was constructed in 2006 to house people who were shifted from a slum in Mumbai, and it didn't have proper firefighting equipment. The Hudson Times newspaper cited Chief Fire Officers Ravanja Abuka as saying the smoke spread in the building through a lift duct. He said, fires are common in India, where building laws and safety norms are often flouted by builders and residents. This is how we close down on our news segment. Let us remember to pray for our different countries within our space as Liberians. Let us continue to pray for America. Let us continue to pray for Uganda. Let us continue to pray for India. Let us continue to pray for our neighboring countries as well. So these things that are happening in other countries, I always say we are blessed as Liberians that these things don't really occur like the way it occurred over there. So there's a need for us to be grateful. So this is how we go down now reading for the day. Thanks for joining us. God is a day, folks. I'll be right back next Monday. Hopefully by God's grace, Killing Togba and I will be back again next Monday to fill you in on all of the happenings within our country, Liberia. We're hoping that you can go and put up your votes next Tuesday as we put Liberia first. Thanks for watching. God is a day. Happy weekend, folks.
Hello there, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.